Hi and welcome back to my channel. I missed you guys. I feel like I haven't sat down and talked to you in so long. This semester has been so crazy. I'm doing 18 credits again, which is the worst decision of my life again. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some pros and cons of UMiami. I feel like every year I make one big informational video about UM and it always seems to be really helpful for you guys. The response on it is always really good. You guys say it helps a lot, so I wanted to make another one for this year. I know college decisions are coming up. I just wanted to come here, sit down, give you all the pros and cons of UMiami that I could think of. I talked to a bunch of my friends. I got them to tell me what they thought. For those of you who don't know me, I am a junior at UM this year. I started making videos when I was a freshman, so I have a lot of UMiami videos up on my channel. So you guys can go watch those if you're interested. I know you guys want so much information before you go here. I was like that too, which is why I make these videos, because I feel like I didn't really have those videos when I was going to college and I had so many questions that were never answered. So here I am. You're welcome. So first, I'm going to tell you all the pros of going to the University of Miami. Personally, I feel like there are a lot, obviously, because I go here. The number one pro, in my opinion, is the location. So obviously, if you're going to the University of Miami, you're living in Miami. Well, it's technically Coral Gables, but it's part of Miami-Dade County. It's so close to all these really cool areas like Brickell, South Beach, Wynwood. There's so much to see here, and there's just so much to explore, which I sometimes take for granted because I don't realize there's a lot of other places where people go to university where there's nothing to do. And that's kind of sad. There's always something to do every single night of the week. Every single time of the day. We are quite literally living where people vacation. I know that's the cringiest little saying that people here say sometimes, and I'm get over yourself. But it's literally true. There's also a lot of culture in Miami. It doesn't feel like the rest of the United States sometimes. At least for someone who's very interested in the rest of the world and different cultures and stuff, this is a really great spot to be in. Next pro would be the weather. I know that's the obvious one, but at least for me, I'm from New Jersey. It's where my family lives. I grew up in the South and then I moved to New Jersey, and I hate the cold. I hate it so much. I absolutely despise the cold. The snow isn't fun for me. It used to be fun for me when I was in 5th grade, but it's not fun for me anymore. So I love living somewhere where it's always warm. Well, okay, we have Miami winter. It gets a little chilly, and by that I mean the 60s, but it never gets super cold, and I really love that about here because I get seasonal depression really severely, and just the sun always being out, well, not always, but most of the time being out and things like that, it really just helps me as a person. I just feel better. The next pro, this is a controversial statement, but I feel our university has had a relatively good response to COVID. I know there's so many things we could criticize about it, but just the fact that our university opened up is a major pro in my opinion. I couldn't handle being home anymore, and just the fact that we've been able to come back, and that I don't know about you guys, but I haven't gotten COVID yet. I mean, I'm pretty careful, but I also think the university has done a pretty good job with our classrooms and having some online, having some in-person classes, things like that. Again, I know other people have other opinions and I respect that, and I totally hear them. There's definitely a lot of things wrong with it as well, but as an overall, I am pretty satisfied. Another pro is the class sizes. So personally, I like to learn in smaller classrooms. I can't really pay attention well or get a lot out of the class when it's really huge lecture halls. There's 100 people in your class and your professor doesn't even know your name. I think I've only ever had to take 2 big classes with 70 or 100 people. I've just always been really happy with my class sizes being smaller, because then you get to develop a relationship with your professor and with your classmates, and you just get a lot more out of the class in my opinion. And the discussion based classes are also the ones I really like because I like to talk. I don't know if you've noticed, it's almost I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the class sizes here. Again, it's different for every program. I know a lot of my friends who are doing pre-med or pre-health majors, they have a lot of big classes. For me, I'm studying psychology and I haven't really had to deal with that. I'm also really happy with the size of the university as a whole. We're about 10,000 undergrad students, and I've realized that that's the perfect size for me, because when it's 60,000, then your campus is huge and you have to go to that campus to go to your class, and then that campus has your dorm. But I feel our campus is a decent size where if you wanted to walk from the very end to the very end, it's about a 30-minute walk. I don't like walking 30 minutes in the blazing heat, but we also have a little campus shuttle. It's called called the Hurricanes show. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I've just been very happy with the size of our campus overall and the size of our student population, because like it's like now I personally don't go to the dining hall anymore because I'm a junior, but for when you did, it's like cute to like run into people you know at the dining hall and like run into people you know at the gym and things like that. But it's not so much that every single person you see and it's not so much that you never see the same person twice because it's such a big school. So I personally really like the size of our school as well. There's also a lot of different majors and different like schools within umiami. Like there's a College of Arts and Sciences, a School of Communication, and there's a lot of different majors offered. So like for me at least, I came in here knowing I wanted to do psych, but I didn't know what my second major was going to be, and I ended up being able to try some different things until I made that decision because there's so many majors offered. So for me personally, again, that was a really big pro of the school as well. Another pro is that the professors here, at least most of them, definitely not all of them, but a lot of them are really passionate about what they teach, and they genuinely want to teach you. They genuinely care about the subject they're teaching, and they really want to help you. And I think that's a really big pro in my opinion, because you want the person teaching you to be passionate so that you get a good education, and you want them to care about you so that you don't just end up like completely without any support in the class. So I've been pretty happy with my professors so far. There's definitely some where I'm like, literally, what qualifies you to be here right now? But we won't get into that. There's some professors I have beef with, but most of them I really like. Also, side note, I don't know if any of you guys are interested in studying Spanish, but I'm minoring in Spanish, and I just wanted to say I think our Spanish program here is like, it's really, really intensive. They're always the hardest classes I take every single semester, but you learn so much, like so much. Like my Spanish is actually good now, and in high school, like I learned the bare minimum even though I took it for like 5 years. There's also a pool on campus. I will say, embarrassingly enough, in my almost 3 years of going to the school, I never went to the pool until this past Saturday. It's embarrassing. But then on Saturday, me and my friends went, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I love pools. I don't know about you guys. I have been 3 times so far this week, and my first time was on Saturday. So I went Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, and I just like, I love it there. I'm probably gonna go again next week. I also really like the community aspect of UM, especially when you're a freshman. At least when I was a freshman, I loved how you just kind of knew everyone in your dorm, and a lot of people like to talk to each other, and you'd go to the dining hall and you'd run into so many people, and it was kind of like a community feel, and I really like that. And also late night at the dining halls, I don't go to the dining hall anymore. I have a kitchen now. I'm a big girl. I have to cook. But for when we did go to the dining halls, just the fact that we have late night dining was a godsend. Those French toast sticks. There's also a lot of school spirit here, which I love. I spent high school going somewhere where everyone was like, oh my god, I hate this place. I can't wait to leave, you know? And it like kind of makes it a toxic environment where everyone hates the fact that they're there. But here at UM, that was one of the main things that convinced me to go here, is the fact that everyone was so happy to be here. So I was like, oh, if everyone's happy, I'm gonna be happy. So I mean, it didn't exactly work like that, but now I'm really happy to be here. I think just being in a place where everyone is so excited to be in that place just puts out a lot of like positivity into the atmosphere. It's a good vibe. I suggest wherever you end up going, even if you don't end up going to UM, because this video is not meant to convince you to go here by any means. I am not getting paid by anyone to convince you to do anything. All I'm just trying to do is giving you information that I've gotten throughout my life, and it'll hopefully help you on your journey of life. If you guys don't go here, you will still be so happy. You will still do so great. Maybe your life path is coming here, maybe it's not. Just let life do what it has to do, and it will be great for you, I promise. Oh yeah, school spirit. Yay, okay. There's also like a work hard, play hard environment, or like a mindset that almost, I wouldn't say everyone has, but so many people have. And I think it's like a really fun one. Like people here, they like to go out, they like to party, they like to have fun in that way, but they also take academics really seriously, because obviously like you're not going to be at UM, you're not going to succeed here if you don't dedicate time and energy to your academics. I would also say that it's pretty safe here. I know a lot of people are worried about the safety of Miami, but we live in Coral Gables, not in like the heart of the city, and Coral Gables is a relatively safe area in my opinion. And campus, like I've never felt unsafe on campus ever. whatever. There's also a lot of events happening on campus all the time. Like every once in a while I'll just be chilling in bed and my roommate will text me and be like, they're giving, like literally 2 hours ago, my roommate was like, they're giving away free boba at the Rock, like go get some. And I was like, you know, if I had the energy to get out of bed, I would. Fun to have all these little events going around on campus because it kind of like builds some school spirit and it's also just like fun. I just got my COVID results. No COVID. Last pro, we also have a homecoming concert every year. And again, this year I don't think it happened because concerts are like a no-go at the moment. I don't know if it'll happen next year. I really hope it will because it's gonna be my senior year. So that'll be my last homecoming concert ever here. My freshman year we had Zed, like the DJ. And then my sophomore year we had 21 Savage. That concert was a little messy. Everyone was like shoving each other for some reason. But just the fact that we had 21 Savage come to campus, like in the university where I'm here, was like pretty cool. I can't wait to see who it's gonna be next year if we have one next year. So now we're gonna get into the cons. One thing before we get into the cons, I don't want this to come off like I'm complaining. I'm literally just giving you information from a like University of Miami student, an insider perspective, so that you know what to expect when you come here. So going back to the weather, like yes, it's great that the sun is out. I need that as a human being, but it's also so hot and so humid and you sweat every 2 seconds. If you're trying to walk anywhere, you will break a sweat. So it's just something to keep in mind. If I curl my hair, it's gonna be out to here in 2 seconds, like no matter what, which kind of sucks, but there's no perfect world. It's also really expensive. So like tuition, obviously, University of Miami is super expensive. Everyone has like a different financial aid situation, so I can't really sit here and speak on it and on it whether or not it's worth it or anything like that. Also, aside from Miami itself is an extremely expensive city. It's not like a cheap place to live at all. Anytime you want to go out, you have to spend a decent amount of money, like to dinner or whatever, wherever you're going. I don't know, it's just something to be aware of. Like, I think a lot of cities in the United States are expensive, but Miami is one of those bigger cities, so it tends to be one of those more expensive places. And that's just something that you should know before you come here. Transportation sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, if you don't have a car, you're essentially screwed. I don't have a car, so I am essentially screwed. Our metro system, the one good place it takes you is the airport. Everywhere else is kind of useless. It takes you to Brickell too. Brickell and the airport are good. Everywhere else is essentially useless, especially after studying abroad in Europe and like experiencing public transportation there. It's just embarrassing to see that Miami has such bad public transportation. If you want to Uber anywhere, it ends up being really expensive. So it's honestly just like the transportation aspect is really annoying, and sometimes you can feel like you're stuck on campus. Another con is sometimes I feel like there's a bit of an elite culture. Like, I think there's like that umiami stereotype, and a lot of people fit that stereotype, and it's kind of like they all act a certain way and dress a certain way and look a certain way that a lot of the rest of the student population doesn't. And I feel like the rest of them sometimes feel like they don't belong because of that. And I would say that that's a con because, you know, like at least for me, my first semester, like I didn't feel really great here because of that. But once you find your people and you find people who you like relate to and you want to be friends with and who like make this place kind of feel like home, then that's when it all starts going better. That's why I would say that yes, it's a con, but only at first. You learn how to not care about other people and how they're living their life. Also, there's so many people here from so many different countries, so many different states, and that's what I really love. I know this is the con section, but like I love the fact that I have friends from all these different nationalities and like some international friends and like some like friends from places in Florida and everywhere, because now you get to like travel with them. Now you get to learn so much more about so many different places, and I just like really love that. But I would argue and say that that applies to every college because there's just people from everywhere in college. I don't know about every college though. The advising here sucks. I could write a 10-page paper on how much I hate advising at this university. I have never had a single friend of mine say anything good about their advisors, ever. Umiami, if you're watching this, step up your advising game, sweetie. We're dying here. I literally had 2 of my advisors quit and not tell me. And I have to find out through like messaging all the other people in my psych classes who I'm not even friends with. I'd like message a 60-person group chat and be like, guys, has anyone heard from this advisor? And they're like, oh, I think she quit. Like, also, another thing is that some professors just don't care about you. But I kind of mentioned that earlier, so I'm not going to get into it again, but that's always a sucky feeling to have a professor who, like, you can tell doesn't care and doesn't really want to help you in any way. After freshman year, I feel like people just kind of all go their own way. So, like, freshman year, it seems to be, like, a really big community environment type thing. But then after that, everyone like moves into different dorms or they move off campus, and everyone just kind of like sticks to their own little friend groups at that point. So you don't really meet people and make new friends as easily as you did freshman year. But also it's kind of what you make it, you know? It's like if you go out and you still try to make those new friends and everything, like you will make those new friends. I'm hanging out with a new friend today after I finish this video. So that's kind of really exciting. My brain starts like glitching out after like an hour of talking to a camera alone in my room. So I'm really sorry. We're getting there right now. Another thing, in Miami, people don't really care about COVID. Like, I wouldn't say everyone doesn't really care about COVID, but so many people don't. It's kind of like, at least for me, like I like to be safe with these things. I don't want to kill other people. So when I go places, I like when other people are wearing masks, and a lot of parts of Miami, they aren't. So it's just something to keep in mind. I know we're getting our vaccines. I get my second dose on Sunday, so I'm very excited. But I don't know. If you wanted to know that, now you know that. You're welcome. Another thing, this is more like a freshman thing. The freshman dorms kind of really suck. So sorry about that. Sucks for you guys. I already did my time. Also, the dining hall food kind of sucks. Again, I really haven't had to eat there since my first semester of sophomore year, so it's been a minute. It's not horrible. Sometimes there's food that's really good. Sometimes there's food that's like okay. Sometimes it's all bad options. I really like their sandwiches, I'm not gonna lie. After a little bit, you will get sick of it. You'll be like, I want anything but to eat at the dining hall right now. And then when you go home and eat home food, it's like the best experience on earth. I mean, I feel like that's just the experience of college though. Another thing, I know they just built Lakeside. I don't live there. I live in the University Village right now. And Lakeside seems really beautiful. I've like walked around in there before and seen the rooms in there before. But I will say a con would be that it's extremely expensive. You guys can see our like housing prices online or whatever. So I would say because of that, it's not very accessible. Like not everyone can afford to live in Lakeside. I don't know, I think that's kind of a con. Like they advertise it a lot, which makes total sense because it's beautiful. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind you might not like realistically be able to live there. It also fills up very quickly. So it's like not easy to get a spot there. But you know, that's up to you to research and decide for yourself if that affects your decision in any way. Another thing, I don't know about you guys, but if you live far away, like I live in New Jersey, my family lives in New Jersey, it kind of sucks to be so far from home. It's not that I'm like dying to go home or anything, but every time you want to go home for a holiday or anything, like it is an entire journey to get home and back. And I think especially freshman year that affects you a lot, because like sometimes it's nice to go back to something familiar when you're in somewhere so new. For me now, I'm like a junior, I don't really care, like I love it here and I've been home long enough, like I'm not dying to go back or anything. But I do know that sometimes you just want to go home, and it's annoying to have to go through a whole journey on the plane in a car or whatever to try and get home every time. So that's just something to keep in mind if you live far from here. That doesn't apply to everyone though. I really hope that this video helps you guys. I hope it answered a bunch of questions, cleared some stuff up, and please comment below any other types of videos you guys want to see from me. I have made so many UMM videos in the past, so feel free to scroll through, watch however many you want, leave a comment or two if you feel like it. If you guys are incoming freshmen and you end up coming here next year and you see me, make sure to say hi. And if you're a current student and you ever see me, make sure to say hi. I love talking to you guys. It's always so much fun for me. I get so excited. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for coming to my informational UM video 2021. I'll see you next year. I'm just kidding. Bye.